Pansies and forget-me-nots just in time for spring. In today's beginner level tutorial, I'll show you how to mix your paints and use watercolor and colored pencil to create beautiful spring flowers. What's up, friends? Welcome back. My name is Shayda Campbell, and around here we make art, and it's fun, not scary. You know I love to work tiny, and I love a tiny sketchbook for that reason. So this is the little square hot press paper sketchbook from ArtX. It's so good. Linked it in the old Amazon shop. And then I've got a couple of paintbrushes here. Probably I'm going to do a lot of this with a number 6 round. You could also use a number 8 or a number 8 filbert. And I have my Shayda Campbell watercolor set. That's from Aquafine, and that's also linked in my Amazon shop. All supplies are in the description. So we're painting pansies first for spring, and I like to mix up a couple different purples or violets. A great purple is just ultramarine mixed with burgundy. Then you can make that same mix but add white, so you have a much lighter purple, or make that same mix and add a little bit of indigo or just a heavier blend of color with less water so that you have like a super dark violet. Okay, let's come over here using the number 6 round brush. We're going to start with the lightest of purples, and we'll paint sort of a messy circle for that bottom or front petal, kind of like an upside down heart, actually. And then I'm going to grab a slightly darker purple, so that's why I mixed a whole bunch of different violets or purples on the palette. And we're going to do 2 more petals, leaving a space in between. And then we're going to take our darkest purple, and we are going to do kind of like the top of a heart peeking out at the very back there to indicate that there are actually 2 petals in behind, 2 dark petals. And you can lift a little color if you have a lot of blending. You want it to look like there is indeed 1 petal sitting in front. Here I'm going to do the same shape, but I'm going to use my lightest purple for all 3 of the front petals, and lifting is never a bad idea. And then I'll use a slightly darker purple to hint at those 2 petals that are sort of peeking out from the top. With our 2 flowers in place, we're going to mix up a nice natural green to do all the leaves and stems. And I'm using sap green, and then I'll darken it slightly with this darker, cooler hooker's green. And then I like to add a little burnt umber or red to give it a more natural look. So brown or red is always going to make your green look a little more, organic, more natural. And then we'll come over here, and using the round brush, we're going to add pressure to that brush and make these leaf shapes. And what we want to do is border some of the petals, especially the lighter petals that might not exactly be jumping off the white page. So we're going to border them with these green leaves. And then we're also going to use the tip of that round brush to do these nice thin stems, not too thin, but just a clustering of stems. And you can also add some more leaves and branches connecting them. I like the way these guys are framed, so I think we'll leave it at that and let that dry for a moment. Okay, now for the fun part, we're going to add the coloration to these pansies. That really makes them look like pansies. So with a super dark purple on the tip of your brush, you're going to add these strokes of dark color to the front 3 petals, leaving a little space in between. And then I'm also using some of these darker purples that I've mixed to go over the back 2 petals on this guy. Remember, watercolor always dries lighter than you think, and it takes layers. So use that to your advantage to make sure that your painting looks vibrant and bright. It's not a bad thing to layer in more color, and you can see me doing that here, and even putting a few little striations on those front petals. And I'm going to darken up these guys as well. Then we're going to take a little yellow and do a spot at the center, and a bit more of a buttery yellow to do some color on that front petal. And then this guy's just going to get a nice dark yellow spot at the center, and we'll leave that one to dry completely. Okay, so over here on the right, I want to try one more spring flower, and it has to be the forget-me-not. That's one of my favorite flowers that comes up in my garden in the spring. And it's really easy to paint because you're just doing these silly little blossoms that have 4 or 5 petals. So I like to go around and just paint like 5 circles in a circle, and then there's your forget-me-not. You can see I've mixed up a couple different blues. So this is like ultramarine with a hint of magenta, and then I've just added more white white or less white so that I have some variation in the blue. And yeah, just using the tip of that number 6 round brush to cluster a few of these cute little flowers, add more magenta if you want a more periwinkle blue. And then up towards the top of the page, I'm doing like some tiny flowers or even just some dots. And you'll see why in a moment here, because we're going to add big green leaves at the base, and then up at the top we'll have just the thin stem and those little like flower buds. So you can cluster a few leaves, just add pressure to that brush, and then as we go to connect the flowers, we're just doing thin stems, little branches. You can just do little touches or hits of green and it's going to look good. You don't have to be too precious about it, and just get some green sort of connecting everybody there. Over here I've got a cluster of just 3 flowers, and then again I'm going to add pressure to my brush and do these nice big leaves at the base of the stem. And that's it for the watercolor portion. Well, I think I'm almost done. There we go. I'm going to let that dry completely. So go make a cup of tea, give it 10-15 minutes or hit it with a hairdryer. And here is where the magic happens. You know I'm so into mixed media lately, and I'm really excited to add a little bit of colored pencil. And the colored pencil is going to make these spring flower illustrations really pop. And you can see what it's already doing, how much contrast we create. So taking a dark green, I just colored in between the stems. And then my next step is to darken some of the stems, but not all, or you can darken the stems, but not the leaf right above it. You can add a bit of shading to a portion of the leaf, potentially the part of the leaf that is closest to the flower, because the flower might cast like a bit of a shadow. We can add veining lines to some of the leaves. We can draw in leaves with this really, really dark color to kind of add a backdrop to the leaves that are already there. And we can draw in some stems as well with that really dark color. This is a great way to make this illustration really pop and look super graphic. This step is totally optional. You do not have to do this. You could be done, or you could also use watercolor to add a few veining lines or some of those small details. I'm also doing a bit of shading on the petals, so darkening some of them, adding a few lines. But that's pretty much it for the pansies. Have fun with this step because you can just continue to layer and kind of play with the contrast until you feel it looks good. And then the forget-me-nots, I needed a little light brown dot at the center of most of the flowers, and I'm doing much the same on the leaves. A little bit of shading, some detail like veining lines, making some of the leaves like slightly darker to create contrast, although I didn't go quite as dark on this illustration. And then I used darker blues to do just some little lines and shading at the center of the flowers, and then outlined a few of the flowers as well. Just do some, not all. I think that's key. We'll sign our work, and there we have 2 graphic spring florals done with watercolor and colored pencil. They're so simple when you go through the steps in this way where you're working with the 2 mediums, so I hope you'll give it a try. Want extra help painting pansies? Head over to Patreon where there's a little worksheet. It's just $3 a month to get that weekly bonus content. And friends, consider signing up for my newsletter. That way you'll always be notified when a new video or worksheet or e-course promotion or sale comes along. Don't miss out on all the weekly content. Use the link in the description to sign up for my newsletter now. Thanks for watching.